Hello everybody and welcome back to another rebuild. This time we're going to be going to Germany, where we will be taking on second division FC Kaiserslautern, or FCK for short. They have come off the back of a wonderful cup run in the DFB Pokal Cup, where they lost 1-0 to the unbeaten Leverkusen side, who have won the league, now have won the domestic double, only losing 1-0 in the end. Quite an achievement, but they do find themselves in Bundesliga 2, which many say that they are fallen giants. Only a couple of seasons ago they found themselves in Bundesliga 3, but having fought their way through after 4 seasons there, I think it is, they find themselves in Bundesliga 2, and our aim is to get them back to the big time. As many may feel, instead of fallen giants, they are sleeping giants. They enjoyed their greatest spells in the 1990s, having won 2 first division titles, as well as winning it twice in the 1950s as well. But since they've not really done an awful lot, and they have had quite a barren spell in a way of winning trophies. They've got an okay transfer budget with wage budget as well. Predicted to finish 12th in Bundesliga 2, where our aim is to get them back to the big time and fighting for that top spot. This is their favoured formation, the 4-3-3 DM role. Normally my go-to nowadays is the 2 DMs, but we'll see how this goes. If we've got the right players for this formation, then we'll try it. But yeah, ultimately we'll probably end up going to DM roles, because that seems to be the way to go in the recent builds as well. So like I say, the favoured formation, the best 11, and they've got quite a few loan obligations as well. The outline of the board's vision is to sign players based in Germany. Okay, so German players only then, or based in Germany should I say. Sign German players. Okay, so that just contradicts itself really, doesn't it? Work within the wage budget. And in the next 5 years, they want us to become established at Bundesliga 2, be competitive in the Pokal Cup, and work towards being self-sustainable. Record a top half finish in Bundesliga 2, top half finish. Okay, so they want us to, well, we're going to try and get to Bundesliga 1. We'll have a look at the staffing situation, so we can definitely build on that. Well under average for the coaching, but we have got some positions we can fill in. Same with the recruitment, which they are averaging. So that's quite good. And medical staff, the same situation there. Finances, they have got 7 million in the bank. A little bit of transfer budget and wages as well. Not too much though, to be fair. Any debts? They have got £2.4 million remaining of a debt. So hopefully we can clear that up. No problem whatsoever. 3 years that'll be gone. 69 grand a month. That's not too bad actually. But more importantly, the squad. First glance doesn't look too bad. Let's have a look at the aged players. I mean, they've only got 5 players 30 and above. That's good. That's not bad at all if we go by ability then. And looking at that, some of these players, the better ones, are well under age. So that's pretty good as well. So first one is Jan Elvedi, Swiss centre-back. Looks pretty decent. 26 years old. Definitely be here for some time if he improves, unless we get somebody better. We have got somebody on loan, Pushach. I do apologise if I have mispronounced it. Mike calling Timo. Again, pretty decent left-back. Quickish. He is valued at £2.6 million, and there's no optional fee. Boris Tomiak, another defender. He can play DM as well, which might come in handy. 6'3", can head the ball, he can jump. He's quite decent actually, so maybe keep him at the back. Marlon Ritter, cam role, midfield, probably a cam. 28 years old. Again, pretty decent. Nice stats for a Bundesliga 2 side. Almami Torre, 27-year-old. Again, another centre-back. He can play right-back. So I feel we have got a defence. We have got a decent striker as well. Ragnar Ake. Quick. Finishing's okay. Let's have a look. 7 goals last season, Bundesliga 2. He did play in the Bundesliga 1 for Frankfurt. We've got Redondo, Zuck. Let's have a look at the high potential players. We have got Julian Nihus, DM, good potential, decent stats. A few greens in there, work rate, teamwork and determination, and some of them are teetering on the edge as well. Kral, goalkeeper, 23-year-old goalkeeper. Excellent stuff. That's brilliant. Definitely have him in goal. Potential. He is our best goalkeeper as well, actually. Unless we have somebody better, but I think for now, 23 years old, he can definitely grow into that position. We have got quite a lot of players on loan though. Another striker, 23 years old. Again, he looks pretty decent as well, actually. Kolak, midfielder, DM as well. I definitely got enough players to fill in the positions, that is for sure. Quite a lot of players there as well. Let's have a look if we've got any very young players though, so that we haven't picked up on. Rashol, midfield. Maybe we do go for 1 DM, 2 midfielders. Maybe that might be the way to go. We have got some midfielders here. If it doesn't work, we can change it, so that's not a problem. Did they make any transfers this season? Oh, fair bit though. Quite a lot on loan, few on free. I'm assuming they're going into the youth setup. We'll have a look at that in just a second. They released a few guys there. We'll have a look at the second team, see what we've got or not got, as the case may be. Yeah, it doesn't look like we've got an awful lot though, to be honest. Under 19s. There's one there. Lucas Librock, 18-year-old winger. There's quite a few with high potential though. Midfielder. So Lucas, I mean, if we could bring him into the first team and see what he's like. Cruciate ligaments out to 4 to 6 months. Not happening this season, I'm afraid. So we'll have a look at the formation. We'll see what we can come together, and then we'll be straight back. So not much happening in the window. We managed to sign one player, Berke Yilmaz, for £275,000. Pretty good youngster, actually. Left back. He's German as well. 18 years old. And he's got some pretty good stats on him at this age. He's got high potential. We're going to lock him in for this season to see how well he progresses. We have got other players that can play in the left back position better than him. However, if we can start them off young, get a really, really good at young player with lots of potential, who knows, he could turn into a superstar. But that's the plan anyway. So that was the only movement really we had at this window. And as you can see, we've locked him in. That's his favoured position. And if we pick our best 11, he doesn't feature. But that is pretty much the side that I would have probably picked anyway, I think, with a DM and a midfield. I think maybe next season, if we do get promoted, or if we manage to somehow stay in this division, then we'll drop back to 2 midfielders in the DM role. And from the results, it's not been too bad. There's been too many draws for my liking, and we've not conceded many goals either. We're through to the next round of the Pokal Cup, winning 2-0 in the first round. And then the Bundesliga, we drew 0-0 with Schalke, which isn't a bad result. We beat Elversberg 4-2, drew with Paderborn, and then we beat Nuremberg as well. So, I mean, they're pretty good results, I feel. We're currently lying in 5th position, which isn't too bad. 6 points off Hanover, who are 5 for 5 at the minute. But if we can get into the top 3, or possibly top 2 will be quite nice, then that will be a job well done. So let's go ahead and simulate our first season and see what these lads are all about. And hopefully we won't need to make too many changes come next season. First season goes according to plan, and a lot more than just a plan. Top 3 finish was expected. We win the league. Bundesliga 2 is ours. We get promoted to the Bundesliga 1, and this is where the hard work will begin. We won the league quite comfortably in the end, 12 points ahead of Schalke, who also go up, and also Hanover as well, who started relatively well, 5 for 5 if we can remember. But 68 goals scored. We scored the most. We conceded second to least, I believe. Although Paderborn only conceded 33, but they only scored 33, so they had a real problem scoring goals. But we only lost 3 games, which is very, very good indeed. And that's not bad in our first season. Can it be repeated in the second? Ake gets the golden boot. He also gets second best player in the league. And Taki and Berke Yilmaz with that youngster, remember, our 18-year-old that we picked up. 10 assists this season. Fantastic. And our goalkeeper, joint leading clean sheet taker as well with 14. If we have a look at some of the results then, so we did have a very, very good start. We lost our first game at the end of November, losing to Kiel 2-0. And then we smash Magdeburg, Braunschweig 5-2, Hertha Berlin 3-0. We beat Schalke 2-0. I think we drove them earlier on in the season. 0-0. It was away from home then. Nothing really stands out results wise, but we did have a very good April, winning all games without conceding a goal. And then we smashed Hertha again in the last month, 5-1. But other than that, it's a pretty solid side, isn't it? The question is, how will they do in the Bundesliga 1? The Pokal Cup, we got knocked out in the third round to Frankfurt of the Bundesliga. 2-1 in the end. That's not a bad result. Dortmund only scraping past Stuttgart, and Bayern obviously going through as well. The final, Bayern beat Frankfurt, so we lost to the eventual runners-up. So the lads, how did they perform? So if we go by goals first, then we can have a look at our youngster Yilmaz. 27 goals from 28 for Ake, our striker. Very happy with them. Ghanaian, worth £7.4 million now, which is pretty decent. Some of these players will be going back, like Philippe, the other striker. He did get 12 goals as well. Apart from that, nobody else came close. So out of the 68 goals, Ake did score quite a hefty bunch there. Richmond Tachi, he got 13 assists. And Yilmaz, how did he do really though? So I mean, he's up to 2.5 stars, so he's gone up. He's looking pretty decent. And if we have a look at his development to see how well he's done so far, all his stats are going up. 2 for his anticipation. That's good, as well as the acceleration and pace. And our goalkeeper is 24 years old. Quite happy to hang on to him for a bit longer. 34 conceded with 15 clean sheets. Not bad either. But if we have a look at some of the players that will be leaving us probably. So yeah, we've got 5 players on loan. And to be honest, they didn't really feature that much. Apart from Philippe, who did contribute a fair bit with 12 goals. But other than that, we've got a couple of plus 30s there, like Robin and Ben. They'll be going. They didn't get any game time whatsoever. Just soaking up some wage budget though, so we should be able to release some wages there. If we could afford to bring 1 or 2 of these players, then great. Philip, I would like to have as a backup, but 1.3 million. I don't know if we have that much money. And we have £1.1 million. Okay, and we've got a fair bit of wages budget, so we're still going to have to be conservative with what we have. But again, if we can offload a few players and bring in maybe 2 or 3 decent ones, hopefully they'll be able to help us out staying in the Bundesliga. Before we move on to the transfers, if you're enjoying this video, if you wouldn't mind smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you're enjoying this sort of content. It is free to do so, and it is probably the best way of supporting the channel as well. So back into things, Lucas Schneller comes from Bayern Munich second team. We've got a second choice goalkeeper on our hands here, folks. 22 years old, looks pretty decent. Kral is playing absolutely wonders. He's done really well from the last season. Whether or not Lucas is going to overhaul him in the end, I don't know. So it's going to be a fair battle between the pair of them, but he looks pretty solid, and for £55,000, that's a bargain. And from Hoffenheim, where we spent majority of our budget, in fact, we've probably spent nearly all of it, £850,000 on Finn Becker, midfielder. He can play DM, can play Kamet as well. Pretty decent in the middle of the park, and somebody really we're looking for is going to be playing as a DLP. I might change that next season, depending how well we do this season. As long as we stay up, that's all that matters, which meant that was our final signing for the season. We have also brought in a couple of youngsters as well into the first team, like LeBrock. He's come in left winger. I'm going to give him time this season, see how well he does. Like our left back, he's improved. He's got bags of potential as well. I'm not too bad at stats, whether or not it's good enough for the Bundesliga, but again, I'm hoping we survive. If he improves, then he stays. If not, then we'll find somebody better. We are through to the next round of the Pokal Cup, not scoring a goal, but we did win on penalties against Magdeburg. Then we had 2 really good results, Union Berlin and Bayern Munich we drew 0-0 with. I mean, that is a phenomenal result. Keeping them out, fantastic. And then we lost to Frankfurt again. We don't seem to be doing well against Frankfurt for some reason, but we lost 2-0 away from home. We are lying 15th in the table, currently just above the relegation zone on 2 points. We are 7 points off the lead, but if we can finish, well, we just want to survive this season. We survive, the money will roll in, and then we can make better signings next season. And in the next round of the Pokal Cup, we've got Darmstadt. So let's jump into things and get our second season underway. For a newly promoted club, we have done absolutely fantastically well. We escaped though by 3 points from relegation. That could be down to the final game of the season, where did we beat Werder 2-0? We had a couple of draws in there as well, and 2 losses right at the beginning, but that's not too bad. We only used 14 games. We had a minus goal difference. We had a better goal difference than the ones that finished on 33 points, so possibly we may not have finished that close to the bottom, maybe, but it's close enough. 3 points in it. I'm really happy with that. Bayern take the league by 8 points. Dortmund finishing in 3rd position. Hanover and Schalke go straight back down though, so we did better than they did. Understandably, we have nobody in the top 3, but it is Harry Kane with 27 goals that takes the Golden Boot this season. If we have a look at just some of the results then, it's not too bad, to be fair. There's a lot of losses in there, but not really that big. Stuttgart beat us 4-0, 4-1 by Bayern in the away game. Hanover beat us, and Schalke do as well. I mean, they're games we expected to win, especially when we beat them last season to go up as well. We had more of a run of losses than wins, unfortunately, but that all-important final month, 2 draws and a win, that's probably saved us. We got knocked out in the second round by Darmstadt. Wow, okay, that was unexpected. 5-3 as well. Disappointing not to go through it, especially against a second division outfit. 17 goals from Ake though. He did well, but 17 goals, it's not an awful lot. We haven't got an awful big squad though, to be fair. And the next one up with 4 goals from Niehaus. He's our DM. I mean, how is that even possible? And that's it. I mean, nobody came close at all. Liebrock, how did he do? 2-1. Not brilliant, but then again, he's only on £550 a week, bless him. Maybe not quite ready for the Bundesliga. And Yilmaz, our left back, doing quite well. 11 assists, so he's doing better as well. So that's pretty decent as well. And goalkeeper, 56 and 36. Probably expected. But the more important thing is where we finish. Do we get any money? So let's find out. We have £10.5 million. That's quite good. We should be able to bring in 2 or 3 players for that, I think. Most definitely. We will have to replace some players, may have to adjust some of the positionings and bring them type of players in. But £10.5 million, I'm quite happy with that. So let's go and see if we can spend it. So a not so quiet window this summer. We managed to offload £1.9 million worth back into the kitty, which is really nice indeed. We do say goodbye to a couple of players like Schramm, Arumu, Zimmer. He goes for 1.1 million to Werder. Probably a mistake, would have been good to have, but he is 31, 32 now, I think he is. So we want to give some of the youngsters or bring younger players in to replace. And Bauer, he's also gone for up to 250,000 as well. And a couple of players gone out on loan, including Mazzoni. He was one of the youngsters I wanted to try out last season. It didn't kind of work out, so I think some time out on loan will be quite good for him. However, like I say, £1.9 million into the kitty. That upped our budget. With contracts being done as well, we did manage to bring in a few players. From Regensburg for £2.5 million, we bring in another goalkeeper. I felt we needed more. Kral is okay. Felix is a lot better. And I think the way to go forward with the budget that we had, he was one of the better ones that were out there. He's got very good handling, good jumping reach as well. Aerial's not too bad, but his reflexes look sound together with his one-on-ones. It should help us this season. From Borussia Mönchengladbach for £3.3 million, a 23-year-old Rocco Reitz, midfielder. Again, fantastic determination, bravery, aggression, all in the 16s. He's got a work rate of 17, which is phenomenal. He's a tireless midfielder described by the media, which is perfect because he is a perfectionist apparently, and he likes to get forward whenever possible. A good addition, I feel, and to play alongside Becker or even Ritter maybe. So they'll have to fight out in the middle for the time being. From Leipzig for £3.5 million, we bring in Justin Deal. Left winger, Poku is okay, and we did have another youngster, wasn't it? Lobinga, was it, that we had on the left hand side? I can't remember now actually, but this guy looks really, really good. Dribbling, pace, acceleration, he's got good agility. likes to beat the opponents repeatedly. I'd rather you beat them once and get forward, but we'll see how he is. Winger on attack, he can play inside forward. He's right-footed, so we're going to push him on the inside forward position this season, see how that fares. But overall, I think it's an improvement. And from Frankfurt, a bane of our side, is Niels Nkunku, left back. Looks really, really good to play alongside Deal that we just got on the left-hand side. He's almost at his potential, if not reached it already. But at 24 years old, I think he's got more to give. And with his physicals, look pretty nice. Dribbling as well. Crossing could do with a little bit more. But while he's up and down that wing, I'm pretty happy. He's got a goal to his name already this season, which is superb. So this is how we're faring this season. We're going to lock in that these players that we've just brought in. And Nkunku comes onto the left-hand side now. We've got Reitz, Becker and Deal as well. We're locking them in just to see how we fare this season. Then hopefully they will establish themselves in them positions. We won't have to worry about it next season. But we have got Ritter that can play in them positions also if need be. So far so good. I mean, don't bother looking at the friendlies. It don't really mean anything. It was just trying to adjust to the formation. But yeah, we did smack a few people. We even smacked Erdingen in the Pokal first round 5-1, which was superb. And then we got hit to earth by Frankfurt. We didn't lose. We drew 1-1, so I'm really happy with that. We beat Bochum 1-0, and then we lost to Leipzig 1-0. So we're not conceding, but we're also not scoring, which is quite a worry. So that might be a position for next season, possibly. We're currently lying in 11th position, which isn't bad, and we're only 5 points off the top. We've drawn Heidenheim in the next round of the Pokal Cup, so hopefully we'll go a little bit further this season. So without any further ado, let's jump into Season 3 and see if we can cause a few ripples in this division. That's not bad positioning after Season 3, second season in the Bundesliga. We're climbing the table, we're going in the right direction. 48 points, which is only 5 points off a European spot, of which Stuttgart have nicked it from Union Berlin, of whom we finished 3 points behind. We did have a very torrid finish to the end of the season though. 3 losses in the final 4 games. That cost us a European spot, I feel. And Ake gets a joint golden boot for the season. 15. That's not a lot in the Bundesliga, is it really? But he gets 15 goals and he's joint leading goal scorer for the season. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that low a goal tally to win the golden boot, but that's incredible. So the league, straight away 3 losses on the bounce: Bayern, Bochum and Frankfurt, of whom we beat and drew earlier on in the season, but we did lose to Bayern there 4-0. Do we lose to them later on as well? Yeah, last game of the season 3-1. Yeah, them 3 losses really put a damper on things. Wolfsburg being one of them as well. We even lost to Dortmund. We had a pretty tough running though, to be fair. And we got all the way to the semi-finals of the Pokal Cup. Wow, only losing on penalties to Leipzig. I did not expect that though, but that is absolutely phenomenal. Frankfurt getting to the final. Let's just see, did Frankfurt win it? No, they lost. That's unfortunate, but that's not bad going though. But let's just have a quick look at our running though. The quarterfinals, we beat Hoffenheim 2-0. Third round, we beat Wiesbaden 2-0. Second round, 1-0 against Heidenheim. That was a close. So they were really close games all the way through, apart from the first round one though. But yeah, it's very unfortunate we didn't get to the final, but we're close. Squad-wise, how did they all fare? 18 goals in for Ake, who's now injured. How long was he? He's out for 3 weeks. He was out since June. Is that on international duty? Okay, so that's after the season finished. So again, goals very hard to come by. They really are. Becker, how did he do? 9 and 8, not too bad. What about Deal? 5 and 2. I expected a few more assists though, but 5 goals and 2 assists, not too bad. Reitz as well, 4 and 7, and then Nkunku 3 assists. I expected more, it has to be said, especially from our fullbacks. And the goalkeeper, 46 conceded and 39, 13 clean sheets, which isn't too bad. He's still got some potential left in him as well. Tachi, 8 and 4. We're going to have to look for a right winger, I feel. Mazzoni, 7 goals he scored in 16. It feels around about a 3-star, 3.5 star would have him back playing on that left-hand side and switch Deal around, I think, possibly. But yeah, we kind of struggled a little bit, it has to be said. although the goals are spread out, but nobody really coming close to Ake though. So next season, what have we got to improve? £16 million, which isn't too bad. We have got 56 million in the bank. So in the next month, I'm going to ask for a little bit more money. Increase the transfer budget, man. Come on. I would like nearer 20, not being too greedy, I don't think, but we have got a fair bit in wages budget though, which is nice to see. Right, with not much happening in the outs, some players were released, the contracts had ran out, some of the lesser players and some of the older ones as well, who weren't getting any game time or who didn't get any game time last season. So there's only a couple of players gone, which did release some wages, not an awful lot, but we decided to bring in another winger, Ken Zeko, 19 years old from Leverkusen, £3 million. I think he's a bargain. Absolutely tons of potential. Very, very quick. He is really a forward, I guess, but we're going to put him on the right-hand side, use some of that pace. He can improve on his crossing, but already he's improving on a lot of attributes already. We still Baum from Frankfurt, £5 million, a right back. Torre's still here. He can still do a job for us, but I think he's more suited for the centre-back option, but he is available at right back if we need him. But Baum with a lot more physical presence, I think he'll do a wonderful job for us. 6 foot, runs with the ball down the right and gets forward as much as he can, which is fantastic. And he's very spirited as well for a fullback. And Union Berlin, one of our rivals, £8 million. We steal Kemlin. Even though we have got Nihus, he's not improving as quick as I would like. So we decided to bring another 22-year-old this time. He looks phenomenal as well, just as good I think, and if he can do a job for us with still potential in him, I think we're going to be pretty solid at the back. And finally, we have Patson Daka, ex-Leicester player, Ipswich player, scored tons of goals, and we got him on a free. He was available as a free agent, we bagged him. It did cost us 31.5 grand a week though, mind, but for an advanced forward, and Ake's okay again, he's just not putting enough away, and Daka already has been scoring tons of goals, especially in the friendlies. He's got 4 in 4 games for us this season already. I'm just hoping it's a move in the right direction for us, and he will be our in-game striker now, so we can more or less concentrate on the back line next season going into the final one. But hopefully, all going well, he'll score tons of goals and elevate us up into that European positions. This is formation for this season. Becker, we're moving into the cam position to help out Daka and well, just help out the forward full stop. We are not scoring enough goals up front, and that seems to have been a problem of recent seasons. And we've also locked in Izikor on the right hand side and Baum on the right hand side as well. So if we pick our best 11, Tachi comes back into the right hand side, Ritter comes in, Ritz is in as well, and Torre comes into the centre defensive position, as I mentioned before. But there's no room for Becker. However, results have gone our way a little bit, so I'm quite pleased with that. The Pokal Cup, we win that 5-0 quite comfortably. Then we drew with Union Berlin and Wolfsburg, and then a fantastic victory away at Schalke with Dill getting a hat-trick. We're currently lying in 9th position, 4 points off the leaders Leverkusen, but not that far off everybody else, which I'm really, really pleased with. So hopefully a European spot will be ours for the final season. So let's move into our 4th season, and fingers crossed we can get European football. And wow, we have done it. We have qualified for European football in our last season, and would you believe it, we have got Champions League football next season. That is beyond our wildest dreams at this point. I didn't expect to be this close, but we finish in 5th position, some way off the top 4, that's for sure. We've got a lot of work to do going into the final season, but we only scored 41 goals. That is by far the least in the top 7, 6, 7 or something like that. But we only conceded 29, which is a mass improvement. That is really, really good. That suggests we've got nothing wrong with our defence. But Bayern Munich once again run away with it and win the league again. And to be expected, we're nowhere near the top 3 for anything, apart from Kemlin, who's done his job at the back, collecting 15 yellow cards. So in the league, the results, not too bad. A couple of 1-0 losses, a 3-0 against Leipzig. So they're the games that really cost us. So we did draw with Bayern Munich though, 1-1, which is a really good result. A couple of more wins. A couple of months where we have a couple of losses. Dortmund we draw with. We did lose to Union Berlin though. We beat Schalke at home convincingly. Bayern we lose away from them, which isn't too bad. But the only loss in the last few games or last couple of months was to Bochum 1-0. And we beat Dortmund 1-0 as well. We get knocked out by Karlsruhe in the second round of the Pokal Cup on penalties, hence probably why we finished quite strongly in the league actually. Would I take that? Possibly, especially with getting Champions League football. So yeah, that's kind of outshines this by a long way. Squad wise, oh, the goals are not flying in at all, are they? I know we scored 41 goals, but that is pretty bad really. 16 goals for Daka in his first season, 1 in every 2 almost, 3 assists. Then Ezekor as well, 4 assists, 8 goals, not too bad, but he's growing. Deal as well, 8 and 2. I want more from them. Ake, he did score 5 goals. Kemlin, 3 and 4. Becker, 1 and 5. Again, I expected much more from the cam position. And Bourne, what did he do? 8 assists. Felix, how did he do? He only played 10 games, 9 conceded. And it was Kral who took over. 26 games, 21 conceded. So maybe that's why we conceded less goals. But I'll take it. If they have to fight for that position, then so be it. So going into next season though, let's see what we are being given. Considering we're in the Champions League and we finished in 5th position. £33 million to spend with a bump up in the wages as well, which is fantastic stuff for us. We'll start off with the outs first, and you'll notice we've lost Nkunku. He's gone to Aston Villa of a break clause of £2.5 million. I didn't see it at all. I can't believe it. And I was so gutted. It came late on as well, so we had to scrap around to try and get a left back. I think we got a decent one at least anyway. Somebody probably not as good as Nkunku, but someone that can definitely grow into the position. A couple of other players are gone, like Hertz gone to Wiesbaden as well for up to 145,000, and a couple of others fringe players also. However, it did mean that we had some money to spend, so we got our contracts done and brought in the following players. From Stuttgart for £15 million, we needed another centre-back. I felt Thomas and Elvedi of fine, but we just wanted somebody else to bolster our defence back line, and I think this guy will do. Maximilian Bauer, not Jack. Absolutely superb. Concentration, bravery, aggression. He's 6'2", and he marks opponents tightly. Just exactly what we're after. Next up for Borussia Mönchengladbach for £16 million. Kylian Suk. Again, 20 years old. Stats look really good. His flair's, well, it's almost off the charts. He's got good determination, agility. He can dribble. Somebody probably better than Becker, maybe, although it doesn't suggest that, but definitely somebody can grow into that position with Becker going on to about 28, 29 years old now. And he hasn't really performed over the past couple of seasons, which is disappointing, hence why we decided to bring somebody else in. And finally, from Wolfsburg for £4 million, our panic buy, Sanusi Bar, left back, to replace Nkunku. I think he looks fantastic actually. 23 years old, bags of potential, definitely grow into the position. He's very resolute, and he gets forward whenever possible as well, so that's going to be quite handy up and down that wing. So hopefully he'll grab a couple of assists this season, but he's got a goal for us already, so that's good. So far so good. We've only taken the 1 loss so far this season, with 2 wins beforehand against Freiburg and Heidenheim. Just that loss to Wolfsburg, which is unfortunate. We did have a thrashing of Garchin in the Pokal first round, so that's pretty good. At least we're starting to beat teams, but we're not conceding goals again, which is another plus. The Champions League, these are the teams we have got. Monaco, PSV, Celtic. We've got Dortmund Arsenal, Tottenham, Inter Milan and Marseille. Yeah, it's going to be tough, I'm not going to lie, but we're up for the challenge, I feel. We're lying currently in 6th position, probably a highest start to a season so far. 6 points, 3 off Mönchengladbach, who are 3 for 3 currently. With Dortmund on the same points, and Bayern Munich have lost 2 games already. Werder Bremen and Mönchengladbach. Wow, we've got a 3-point head start. That's fantastic. And we've drawn Nuremberg in the next round of the Pokal. I'm guessing we are predicted to finish around about 31st or 31st seeds in the Champions League this season, ahead of Marseille, Celtic and PSV. So on that, we should be beating them 3 at least. So let's jump into our final season, see where we get up to in the Champions League. It's going to be a bloodbath, that's for sure. So stay tuned if you want to see the results. And hopefully we'll go a little bit higher in the league as well and finish in the top 4. That would really be something to this rebuild. There's no fairy tale ending in the Bundesliga for the 5-season rebuild this time round. KAISERSLAUTERN finishing 4th position, the highest so far this rebuild. They have, since coming back, gathered momentum each season and finished higher than the season before, which is fantastic. But we lose the same amount of games as Bayern, and just looking at that, and we scored 61 goals, which is far more than the previous 3 seasons. 20 wins, 8 draws and 6 losses. That is fantastic. And we only just finished behind Leipzig and Leverkusen. We finish above Dortmund as well, which is outstanding. And Daka gets on the leading goal scoring charts. 21, 2 behind Gressy of Stuttgart and Sesko of Leipzig. And Reitz gets 10 assists, 1 behind Musiala. And Reitz again gets 12 yellow cards. He does love to pick them up every now and again, doesn't he? So we didn't get off to the best of starts. A couple of draws, 3 losses. Half of our loss ratio. We did lose to Dortmund in there. We beat Bayern Munich 4-2. Harry Kane scoring and Musiala, but we had Daka, Ake and Izikor as well. 97th minute, wow, okay. But we then go on a couple of months unbeaten run before losing out to Wolfsburg. Another couple of wins. Any big wins in there? A 4-1 victory over Freiburg, 4-3 over Leipzig, which is a good one as well. We did lose to Leverkusen and Stuttgart. Did we lose to Bayern Munich again? We drew with them away from home, so we were unbeaten against Bayern Munich. And we beat Dortmund 3-1. I'm really pleased with that. I mean, this team is starting to build very nicely. We do get to the final, however, of the Pokal Cup, and we smash Frankfurt 4-1 with goals from Ake with a brace, Izikor and Bauer as well. Fantastic results, something to come out of this rebuild in the end to go alongside the Division 2 title. It's been a long road of recovery, and we have literally established ourselves as a Bundesliga team now, especially a top 6 team. Penalty saved from Izikor. He does get the rebound, thankfully, to make that 3-1, I think it was, and Bauer getting the last goal as well. It wasn't really a game of chances though, to be fair, although we did have 9 shots with 7 on target with an XG of 2.46. 40% possession, so it was all Frankfurt, but we held strong. But Donny van de Beek, I didn't realise he played for Frankfurt though. How well did he do? They played, wow, okay. It was quite cramped at the back though by looks of things, but he did play up there with a 7.4, and that's probably because of his goal. But Ake with a brace, 8.5. So where's Daka then? Did he not play? I don't think Daka played. I'm quite shocked at that, unless he's injured, I don't know. But 4-1 all the same. Fantastic. And Izikor, nice to see him getting a goal, and Bauer as well. So along the way, we did beat Garchin 9-0 in the first round. The second round, we beat Nuremberg 2-1. Third round, we beat Dusseldorf 1-0, very close. We beat Wolfsburg 5-1. We absolutely thrashed them. And in the semis, HSV. So where did Bayern Munich drop out then? They must have dropped out very early on. Leverkusen dropped out to HSV. Crikey, they must have really dropped out. Where did they drop out? They lost on penalties in the first round to Dresden. Wow. That is something. And Daka and Izikor leading goal scorers in the competition. However, the Champions League, we did get knocked out in the playoff round. So we got past the group stage. We lost 7-4 over the 2 legs to Tottenham in the playoff round. League phase, we just qualified in 24th position, 9 points. With wins over Marseille, PSV and Monaco. Does that mean we lost to Celtic? They were one of the teams that are rated below us. Inter beat us, Tottenham beat us 4-2 actually. Arsenal, Dortmund and Celtic. Wow. That's not bad in our first showing in the UCL though. Real Madrid qualified unbeaten, so who won it in the end? It was Real Madrid against Arsenal. This looks a lot better already. 32 goals from Daka. Izikor looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't he? 17 goals, 8 assists. Wow, he's only 21 years old. I was right to play him on the right-hand side rather than up front. But if we just have a quick look at his progress, see what has been going on. Yeah, his physicals have really gone up. Same with the mentals also. Finishing not so, but he has scored goals though. But his crossing's gone up as well, so that's good to see. Determination as well. Excellent stuff. Nice to see the youngsters growing. Ake, 13 goals in 6. So 3 players on double figures. But Daka, I know he's 29 years old, but for a freebie, worth every penny spent. Wow, he's worth up to £26 million as well. So probably would be wise to offload him, put some more money in the budget. 13 assists there for Deal as well. 12 assists for Ritz. 15 for Boom. That is exactly what we brought him in for. Fantastic. 63 conceded by goalkeeper Felix with 17 clean sheets, and quite a few players didn't get any game time whatsoever. Kroll didn't this season either. So going into next season, really, 64 million pounds. That is just amazing. With not so much of a wage budget though, to be fair. Staffing wise, it has improved a lot. The coaching staff look really good now. They still need work on the recruitment and also the medical staff. But as always, let's go and have a look at the records, see if we have broken anything in the last 5 seasons. So we didn't get the highest position. That was the last time in 1991. We did, however, get the most points in a season, 79. That was the first season. And the most league wins, again, in the first season. And fewest defeats, again, in the first season. We did quite a lot in the first season. Highest gate receipts, 1.28 million against HSV in the Pokal Cup semi-final, which we won. That was the season just gone. Lowest attendance was against Monaco in the Champions League. That does surprise me, to be fair. I think we achieved the biggest win, but that was in the friendlies. But yeah, they're quite big results there, aren't they? Daka gets most goals by a player in the season, 32. Fantastic. Well done to him. And Ake, most goals in a league goals in a season, 26. I think that was his first season as well, actually. It was. Highest average rating, Ake again in the first season. A lot of these in the first season, though. Fastest goal, 2027 by Daka, 14 seconds against Garchin in that 9-0 first round victory. Most assists by player, 15 by Boehm. That's just the season just gone. And also most clean sheets by Felix, 17. And Ake again, most player of the match awards, 6. That again in the first season. Sequences, most matches without scoring, 3. And most matches without conceding, 5. Okay, so we did break a couple of records there. And the highest fee paid was for Suk from Gladbach for £16 million. Other than that, we have won Pokal Cup, which is the 3rd time we've won it. The last time being in 1996. But that Bundesliga is some way off still. And we're not that far behind really. We close the gap now down to 8 points from the winners, Bayern Munich. But it would have been nice to finish off with a flurry of trophies. But 1 out of 2 isn't bad at all. And a showing in the Champions League, which is fantastic too. If you did enjoy that, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And let me know down in the comments who you would like to see rebuilt next, or any certain players you would like to see brought in so we can work around. That would be quite an interesting rebuild as well. And until the next rebuild, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.